Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of Hollywood's most iconic stars. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the one and only Doris Day, a name that evokes images of timeless elegance, captivating charm, and unforgettable talent. As we embark on this journey through her remarkable life, you'll discover how Doris Day's career, spanning over 6 decades, was a masterclass in reinvention, resilience, and dedication to one's craft. Born on April 3, 1922, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Doris Mary Ann Kappelhoff was the youngest of 3 children to Alma and William Kappelhoff. Her early life was marked by a strong German-American influence, with her parents instilling in her a love for music, dance, and performance that would become the hallmark of her future success. The Kappelhoff household was always filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and lively discussions, which nurtured Doris's creative spirit from a young age. As a child, she would often sing along to the radio, mesmerized by the likes of Bing Crosby, Ella Fitzgerald, and Billie Holiday, whose soulful voices seemed to transport her to a world beyond the confines of her small town. Her mother, Alma, a homemaker and former music teacher, recognized Doris's talent and encouraged her to take singing lessons at the age of 12. These early lessons, which took place in the family's cozy living room, were more than just a way to develop Doris's vocal skills. They were an opportunity for mother and daughter to bond over their shared love of music. As Alma accompanied Doris on the piano, their voices blended together in perfect harmony, creating a sense of joy and connection that would stay with Doris throughout her life. Growing up in the 1920s and 1930s, Doris was exposed to the vibrant cultural landscape of Cincinnati, where jazz and swing music were all the rage. She would often sneak into the local cinema to watch movies featuring her idols, such as Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, whose on-screen chemistry and effortless dance moves left her in awe. These early influences not only shaped her musical tastes, but also instilled in her a sense of glamour and sophistication that would later become hallmarks of her on-screen persona. As she watched the likes of Carole Lombard and Jean Harlow light up the silver screen, Doris began to dream of a life beyond Cincinnati, where she could use her talents to entertain and inspire audiences. Doris's childhood was not without its challenges, however. Her parents' marriage was marked by tension and eventual divorce when Doris was just 12 years old. This upheaval had a profound impact on the young girl, who found solace in music and performance as a way to cope with the emotional turmoil at home. As she navigated her teenage years, Doris began to develop a strong sense of determination and independence, traits that would serve her well in the cutthroat world of show business. Despite the difficulties she faced, Doris's mother remained a constant source of support, encouraging her daughter to pursue her passions and never give up on her dreams. As a teenager, Doris attended Oakwood High School, where she was an active member of the Glee Club and began to hone her singing skills. She also started taking dance lessons, studying tap, ballet, and ballroom dancing with the renowned dance instructor, Grace Raditz. These early experiences laid the foundation for her future success as a singer, actress, and dancer, and instilled in her a sense of discipline and hard work that would stay with her throughout her career. After graduating from high school in 1940, Doris moved to Chicago with her mother, where she landed a job as a singer with the Les Brown Band. This marked the beginning of her professional music career, one that would take her from the ballrooms of the Midwest to the bright lights of Hollywood. The early 1940s were a transformative time for Doris, as she navigated the challenges of young adulthood and pursued her passion for music. With the onset of World War II, the entertainment industry was booming, and Doris found herself performing at USO shows, dance halls, and radio broadcasts. As she traveled from town to town, entertaining troops and civilians alike, Doris began to realize the power of music to bring people together and transcend adversity. One particular anecdote that stands out from this period is the time Doris performed at a USO show in Chicago, where she met a young soldier named Al Jordan. Their chance encounter would lead to a whirlwind romance and eventually marriage. Though the relationship was short-lived and marked by turmoil, It was an experience that would shape Doris's perspective on love, relationships, and her own sense of identity. As Doris Day's music career continued to soar, she began to set her sights on the silver screen, signing a lucrative contract with Warner Brothers in 1948. This marked the beginning of a long and storied Hollywood career, one that would catapult her to international stardom and cement her status as a beloved icon. Her debut film, Romance on the High Seas, released in 1948, was a cinematic confection that showcased her captivating on-screen presence and introduced audiences to her iconic rendition of It's Magic. The song's enchanting melody and Doris's effortless vocals proved to be a winning combination, propelling the movie to box office success and establishing her as a rising star. The early 1950s were a pivotal time for Doris, with films like My Dream Is Yours, 1949, and Tea for Two, 1950, solidifying her position as a leading lady in Hollywood. Her partnership with director Michael Curtis resulted in some of her most memorable performances, including the 1951 film I'll See You in My Dreams, which showcased her impressive vocal range and emotional depth. As she navigated the complexities of her craft, Doris demonstrated a remarkable ability to balance vulnerability and resilience, bringing a sense of authenticity to her characters that resonated deeply with audiences. One notable example of Doris's dedication to her craft during this period was her work on the 1953 film Calamity Jane. The movie's grueling shooting schedule and demanding physical requirements could have intimidated a lesser performer, but Doris threw herself into the role with characteristic enthusiasm. She spent hours learning to ride horses, perform complex stunts, and perfecting her marksmanship, determined to bring a sense of realism to the film. Her efforts paid off, as Calamity Jane became a massive success, earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress and cementing her status as a Hollywood powerhouse. Doris's collaborations with other notable stars of the era were also significant, particularly her work with Rock Hudson in the 1959 film Pillow Talk. The movie's lighthearted comedic tone and the undeniable chemistry between Doris and Hudson made it a huge box office success, cementing their status as one of Hollywood's most beloved on-screen couples. As Doris herself once said, "Rock was a dear friend, and we had a wonderful time working together. He was a true gentleman, and I think that comes across on screen." Their camaraderie was evident in every scene, from the playful banter to the romantic ballads, creating a cinematic magic that has endured for generations. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Doris continued to produce a string of hit films, including Lover Come Back, 1961, Send Me No Flowers, 1964, and The Ballad of Josie, 1967. Her ability to effortlessly transition between comedy, drama, and musical genres made her one of the most versatile and sought-after actresses of her time. As film critic Pauline Kael once observed, Doris Day is a marvelously good-natured woman, and her goodness is so genuine that it's almost impossible not to be won over by her. This unique blend of talent, charm, and likability has inspired countless fans. From the housewives of suburban America to the glamorous stars of Hollywood, the impact of Doris's work extended far beyond the screen, as she became a cultural icon and a role model for women everywhere. Her commitment to animal welfare and environmental causes, which began in the 1960s, has had a lasting influence on the entertainment industry and beyond. As one of her contemporaries, actress and activist Betty White once noted, Doris was a true pioneer, not just in terms of her film career, but also in her tireless advocacy for animals and the environment. Her dedication to these causes has inspired a new generation of activists, from Jane Goodall to Leonardo DiCaprio, demonstrating the enduring power of her legacy. As Doris's film career continued to flourish, she found herself at the forefront of a new era in Hollywood, one marked by changing social values and shifting cultural norms. The 1960s were a time of great upheaval, with the civil rights movement, the feminist revolution, and the counterculture all challenging traditional notions of American society. Doris's response to these changes would be characteristically bold and innovative, as she navigated the complexities of the era with her trademark elegance and poise. With her unique blend of talent, charm, and determination, Doris Day remained an enduring presence in American entertainment, a true legend whose legacy continues to inspire and delight audiences to this day. As the 1970s dawned, a new era of social and environmental awareness began to emerge, and Doris Day's film career, which had been a staple of American entertainment for decades, started to slow down. However, her passion for animal welfare and environmental causes only intensified, like a flame that burns brighter with each passing year. She devoted more time to her beloved pets, including her canine companions, who were always by her side, and became a vocal advocate for animal rights, using her platform to raise awareness about pressing issues such as cruelty to animals, conservation, and the importance of protecting endangered species. As she walked through the lush gardens of her estate, surrounded by the soothing sounds of nature and the gentle rustling of leaves, Doris Day would often ponder the plight of animals in need. Her commitment to these causes was unwavering, and she worked tirelessly to support organizations dedicated to protecting animals and the environment. She was a true pioneer, paving the way for future generations of animal welfare advocates and environmentalists. Her influence extended far beyond the silver screen, as she inspired countless people to take action and make a difference in their communities. In the 1980s, Doris Day made a triumphant return to television with her own series, Doris Day's Best Friends, which featured her interacting with various animals, from cuddly puppies to majestic horses. The show was a huge success, and it cemented her status as a beloved and respected figure in American entertainment. As she once said, "I've always believed that animals are sentient beings, and they deserve our respect, compassion, and kindness." The show's format allowed her to share her passion for animal welfare with a wider audience, and it sparked a national conversation about the importance of treating animals with dignity and respect. One memorable episode featured Doris Day visiting a local animal shelter, where she met a group of adorable kittens who were in need of a forever home. As she played with the kittens, her eyes sparkled with joy, and her voice was filled with warmth and compassion. She spoke about the importance of adopting pets from shelters rather than buying from breeders, and she encouraged her viewers to get involved in their local animal welfare communities. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Doris Day continued to work on behalf of animal welfare and environmental causes, using her influence to support legislation and organizations dedicated to protecting animals and the environment. She was recognized for her tireless efforts with numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the United States. In her later years, Doris Day lived a quiet life on her estate in Carmel Valley, California, surrounded by her beloved pets and the beautiful natural scenery that had inspired her throughout her life. She would often take long walks through the rolling hills and verdant forests, breathing in the fresh air and listening to the sweet songs of birds. Her home was a sanctuary, not just for herself, but for the countless animals she had rescued over the years. As she looked out at the breathtaking view, she would reflect on her life's work, feeling a sense of pride and fulfillment, knowing that she had made a difference in the world. Doris Day passed away on May 13, 2019, at the age of 97, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most beloved and enduring figures in American entertainment. Her passing was met with an outpouring of tributes and condolences from fans around the world, who remembered her not only for her incredible talent and charisma, but also for her compassion, kindness, and dedication to making the world a better place. Her music, films, and television shows continue to delight audiences around the world, and her influence can be seen in generations of actors, singers, and animal welfare advocates who have followed in her footsteps. Her legacy extends far beyond her impressive body of work, as she continues to inspire us with her example of kindness, compassion, and generosity. As the great singer and actress once said, "The happiest times in my life have been when I'm doing something for someone else, whether it's an animal or a person." These words encapsulate the essence of her spirit, a spirit that will continue to inspire and motivate us to make a positive impact on the world. As we look to the future, we would do well to remember the lessons of Doris Day's life, that kindness matters, that compassion is essential, and that every individual has the power to create positive change in the world. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.